Hello everyone, so welcome to my unit activity. Just to get it started, we're going to go over Federalists versus Anti-Federalists. So the Federalists entertained the idea of the Constitution. However, they argued that the Bill of Rights was unsafe and dangerous according to the American Yawp. So Hamilton sided with the Federalists. The Federalists wanted a national bank, and a nation without a national government will be an awful space. So that's basically what the Federalists said. That's what Hamilton said. He's saying, okay, a nation without a national government will be an awful spectacle. So that's just a quote from him directly. Anti-Federalists did not support the Constitution, and then the Anti-Federalists encouraged strong central government and Bill of Rights. Jefferson sided with the Anti-Federalism and protection for individual rights. So these just kind of give you two indicators. Hamilton was Federalist. These two people are basically the polar opposite. So you can see how, it would clash. And yeah, that's just some background information about the Federalists versus Anti-Federalists. So here's 6 lyrics that stood out to me. We have Jefferson's lyrics and we have Hamilton's lyrics. And honestly, the video was very good at explaining what they kind of felt during that time. And then I just looked at that and I remembered and related it back to the readings. And it was pretty good. So I just like to read you some that I found interesting. So plan would have the government assume state debts, place their bet on who that benefits. If New York's in debt, why should Virginia bear it? Don't tax the South because we got it made in the shade. When Britain taxed our tea, we got frisky. Imagine what will happen when you try and tax our whiskey. So, and then here's Hamilton's. If we're aggressive and competitive, the Union gets a boost. You'd rather give it a sedative. A civic's lesson from a slaver. Your debts are paid because you don't pay for labor. That was my favorite one lyric. Madison, you're as mad as a Hatterson. Take your medicine. You're in worse shape than the national debt is in. Honestly, in my opinion, I think Hamilton won the rap battle. But just looking at over these, you could see that, like, for example, Jefferson, he says, when Britain taxed our tea, we got frisky. Imagine what will happen when you try and tax our whiskey. I just look back at that, and in the readings from American Yawp, they're talking about the Tea Party, the Boston Tea Party. So we just relate that, and they're like, okay, well, we kind of dumped all that tea in the water. Imagine what you're gonna do when you tax our whiskey, because whiskey is a little bit more popular than tea. So that was pretty good. And then we could just look on Hamilton. A civics lesson from a slaver. Your debts are paid because you don't pay for labor. And I like that part because he's like, okay, yeah, you guys don't, your debts are paid because you're not paying the slaves. You're not paying these people. You're just doing slavery. So that's kind of what he's saying. He's relating that back, and just looking at that, it talks about how Jefferson and, they just use slave labor so they don't have debt. So that's honestly, and just like these things with Hamilton and what Jefferson saying, they're directly from history. And just, when you read the books and when you read the videos, you could see that these things relate to it. So it's really good. So my reflection on all this, through the videos and readings, I learned that America has always had a two-party system. And I believe that I side more with the Anti-Federalist than the Federalist government, because states should decide their own laws, protection of individual rights, and once you give power to the government, you can't get it back. So yeah, just like not getting too political or anything, but I do think it's a better idea for the states to decide their own laws instead of just having one big government assign laws for everyone. So if people, like, say, California, they don't like California's laws, they could go to, let's say, Kansas, they could go to Texas, they could go wherever they want, and then it's just like they have different laws within the state. So I think I agree with that more. And honestly, I think I took it more too because, like I said prior, Hamilton was my favorite on the rap battle, so I think I side with him. So yeah, but thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you liked my presentation.